Tony. Oh my gosh. How can I live up to that intro? Thank you. And now I'm titanium. I actually am. I have titanium holding my collarbone together. You didn't know that. So here I am, 3.5 years, and I'm looking at a couple people out in the hallway who I first encountered 3.5 years ago. I met someone who told me some things, and I had no idea that I'd be standing in front of a room like this 3.5 years from now. I had no idea. So I was laying on the couch, got laid off from this illustrious international high-paying career with L'Oreal International. I've been educating people on skin and makeup and doing fashion week and a very fast-paced, crazy life. And then I got broken. I was in a car accident, and I was Valerie's neighbor, and I broke 10 bones above my waist, and my life changed. I didn't want to be a mom. I was just traveling the world, spending my money with my husband, having a great time in Sardinia and all these places, which was awesome. But it was time to not be selfish and to think about being a parent. This little soul was floating around saying, let me in, and I was ignoring it. So a lot happened, but 3.5 years ago, I was recovering from my latest surgery, and I got laid off, and woe is me, laying on the couch. What am I going to do with my life? This sucks. I'm in pain. I'm taking handfuls of pills, and I didn't care who saw me do it. I wasn't hiding it. I would sit in a meeting at L'Oreal, and I would take handfuls of pills because I had to. And people just knew that was me. And then when I was on stage, I was fine, but in a meeting, wasn't fine. So Valerie invited me to speak to some people, and one of them was out in the hall, who you meet later, the president of our company, Brad Tales. And the founder of our parent company said, history is everything. Do you know the history of this plant? And you heard a little bit about it. Do you know what this can do? Do you know what it has done? Do you know why we broke laws and why we legislated governments and why we smuggled it? We did all this for you to pave the way. And I was so inspired, I said, okay, I have to try this. And I was already a medical marijuana patient. I was living in California, but I couldn't function all day on that because I needed a lot to feel better. So that was only nighttime. Started taking CBD and other cannabinoids. I believe they work together, and I'm going to talk to you about that. And it changed everything, and now it became a career and my entire life. That's why it's called the hemp lifestyle, because we live it, we breathe it, we share it, because people see me, and they saw me back then. If you saw pictures of me back then, you wouldn't recognize me. I don't recognize myself. So I'm happy to be here because now I want to educate. I also have been doing a lot of research as a non-medical professional. So I'm listening to Dr. Roger Boger and Dr. Norm and thinking, now where does that bring us to today? You know, now I'm a parent, now I feel great, now I take no prescription medicines. I take a lot of CBD, let me tell you. I'll tell you out in the hall later what I take if you want to know. And so, how do we bring it all full circle? So, okay, it's all about the products. We have the science, we have the reason, we have the excitement. You're intrigued, but you're going, okay, now what does this mean to me, in my body, in my life? And how do I now choose the right things, knowing it's all good? It all has all of these properties to trigger the system in your body. How do you do it? How do you even get started? Is something right? Is something wrong? And that's what I have been focused on, is thinking about how it fits into people's lifestyles. If it doesn't fit into your lifestyle, you're not going to do it, right? It won't become a habit. Do you agree?
Yes.
I got a yes, Tony. They said yes. So, it's all about the products. I know, thank you. So why hemp? You can choose a lot of different products. And because I came from the cosmetics and skincare industry, I started with our skincare. So I tend to talk a lot about the endocannabinoid system and our skin. But today we're going to speak globally. And then later on, if you want to know more specifics about skin versus body, this will help you start that process of thinking about how to do it. So first we're going to address how they work. So you know the system they tap into, and you now know what hemp is versus marijuana, and that they're both like apples and oranges, right? They're both from the same family, they're both fruits, but they're quite different. So now, how do the products work? So this is something that when I first joined Canaway with Valerie, And we were kind of digging in, like, what is the philosophy of this? And we have Dr. Janelle Kim, who's our formulator, who some of you may have seen on webinars or in person. She's one of my mentors, and I learned a lot from her. This is her idea of how you should be treating your body and triggering your endocannabinoid system. It's like yin and yang, internal, external, internal, external. The two shall meet in the middle and become one, and then you have balance. That's all that word homeostasis means, is balance in your life. So sometimes you have to get rid of all the technical jargon and bring it back to reality. I want balance because if Roger's system is balanced, he's going to help something in his body. And if my system is balanced, I'm going to trigger something else. I'm going to reduce chronic pain through inflammation and many other things too. Somebody else in the room might be helping to calm down their anxiety. Somebody else might be doing something else. It's just that our system will take that over. That's not for us to dictate. That's the system doing it. So trigger homeostasis and awaken the cells. That's the key. So how do you choose the right products? Remember this picture? Product X. What will your product X be? Whatever you touch and whatever you try will start to help you. You've got to trigger that system with something. So let's go over the process. Okay, here's what you need to know, because a lot of you are thinking in your head, but there's 50 million types of CBD. I can go to a dispensary in some states. I can go to a vape shop. I can get it online. I can get it cheap from China. What the, right? How do I know? So first of all, there's the 3 Ps. Thank you, Jen. Love this. Purity, potency, and price. How do you know if the source of your product is pure? Do you see a document? Are they showing you something? Is it on the label? Usually it is not anywhere. You have to demand it. You have to ask for it. Is the source pure? Is it safe enough to give to epileptic children in Brazil? I don't know. They need to show you the proof, right? Is it tested? Our parent company created the process of triple lab testing that set the standards and the tone for this entire industry. Nobody was going to do it. Oh boy. So this is important to us. Potency, we're going to talk about that. How many milligrams do you get per serving? Not just in a bottle, diluted with a bunch of stuff. Per serving. You need 50 milligrams a day to turn on your endocannabinoid system. If a bottle has 100, how many days is that going to last you?
2.
You're going to be drinking half the bottle every day and spending more and more and more money, so cost is an issue too. Know your soil, know your oil. Thank you, Jen. All right, so why use our products? Valerie and I are always talking about the products, so I put us up here. I think I'm wearing the same thing. That's really bizarre. I didn't plan that. Okay, so here's the difference. Now, we don't compare ourselves to other products, but full disclosure is very important. So you look at the labeling. In this country, our products are labeled as nutritional supplements, right? So they should have a nutritional supplement label on them. If they don't, they're not following the regulations, and this industry is still working on regulations. So you have to do that. You have to make the right choice. You have to see this and not that. You have to see the source, non-GMO, right? No pesticides, no herbicides, no heavy metals, safe, triple lab tested. Those are key things. Also, we're a hemp company. This is what we do. We didn't just say, oh, I want to get in the green rush and add a CBD product to my line. We're a hemp company. We are CBD, but we are also all of the other cannabinoids. We are also hemp clothing. We're everything, pet products, anything you can do with a hemp plant, we're interested in that. We're studying the fact that hemp conducts electricity. Hemp makes plastics. Hemp does a lot of things for the future, and that's our company. We're not bandwagon here. We started this. This is in our soul. So all of this is important, and this will help you determine if the price is right. So think about cost per milligram. We were having a conversation about this, and I know I don't have a lot of time to get into this, but the cost per milligram and the cost per serving is how you really figure out the value. It's not the cost for the whole bottle, because that doesn't tell you the whole story. You have to have a responsible company that's willing to break that down for you. If it's 11 cents a milligram, that's doable. You know, we were talking about some millennials that we know, and they're saying, well, I spend $6 a day on Starbucks. $6 times 30, you have an extra $180 for your health. If you just like make a little cup of coffee before you get in the car. So we just have to make it real, and I do that, and I can help you with that out in the hallway too. Like, how do you fit it into your budget and your life? Because that's reality. It's lifestyle. So how to choose the product. So you have to consider these three things. Your lifestyle. Are you on the go? Are you going to use an oral applicator, or is a capsule more practical? Even though we know what's best, it's hard because I know that paste is amazing. It has raw cannabinoids and it is the bomb. My son would say .com, mom, but I'm too old to say that, so I just reference him. And what are your personal preferences? If you like to mix things in other foods, or if you like to just suck it up and put it under your tongue and feel good quickly, it's preferences, and we have to honor your preferences. And what are your results? And we can talk about that too. So it's all about the entourage effect. You have three choices in how you use cannabinoids. And maybe you didn't know this. We have products that represent all three of these categories. Full spectrum is always the first conversation. What does it mean? Anybody know what full spectrum means? Shout it out. Right, the whole plant, right? All of it. We don't get rid of most of it. We have to make sure it's clean, and we have to make sure it fits into the formula. But it's got all of the elements, the waxes, the chlorophyll, the terpenes, the cannabinoids, the vitamins, the minerals, all that stuff that we need. But what is this little category in the middle that nobody's heard of? I live in a hemp state now. I live in North Carolina, and it's all about hemp, growing hemp, talking about hemp, tobacco farmers converting their crops to hemp. And so the word broad spectrum has been flying around, and I thought, what does that mean? Our pure gold is a perfect example. It's full spectrum, but we distill out the THC. That means it's now broad spectrum. It's got just about everything, but one thing you don't want. So we let you have the rest. That's why Pure Gold launched Europe. That's why Pure Gold is powerful. Because of its positioning in our company, no other product is categorized as such. So we'll go into that a little bit later. And then you have your CBD alone by itself, isolated out. First responders, military, government, anyone who's got a high level of drug testing wants to just have CBD, and they can have that. They can vape it, they can take a capsule of it, they can put essential oil, they can do so many things and not have to have the THC. It's their choice. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. How much time do I have? Okay, woo! Okay, here we go. Then, for those cannabis naysayers, did you know that there's a ton of plants, and this was referenced earlier, let's see if they listened about the plant families. There's a lot of plants that have cannabinoids, and there's some plants that are in this Cannabisae, C-A-E, I believe, family, and one of those is hops. So we found a way to take something we love to drink. America's crazy about beer. How many microbreweries do we have in the United States? I don't even know the total, but we found a special type of hops called the Crea brand Humulus. Humulus is just the terpene and the terpenoid in the product, in the plant that actually makes it work. That's all it is. So Humulus oil is hops. This is a new way to get CBD without THC from a non-cannabis source for those who will never go there. So we have something for them. That's why this is about choice, preferences, lifestyle, preconceived notions, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be really quick. The skin. You have little microorgans and endocannabinoid receptor sites in your skin. And your skin is your envelope. It is your protective envelope. It makes you water resistant. What if we absorbed all the water we walked around in the Northeast that's raining and falling from the sky? It would be horrible. Also, it keeps water from leaving your body too. That is precious to the operating of your, what did you call it? Your meat sack?
Meat suit.
Meat suit. Sorry, I just took a little liberty with that, Roger. That's another thing. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Am I red? Am I red? So sorry. I apologize. That was not planned. Okay, so natural skincare that actually works. I'm going to leave it at that because of CBD. Natural skincare does not work. I come from the skincare industry. It just doesn't do harm, but it doesn't work. Ours does because it triggers this whole system in our skin that's working as an organ works. So I'm going to leave you with this. Here are some of the innovations. Like, why stop at a tincture, a vape? Why stop at a paste? Why stop there?
People need everything in their lives. Remember, yin and yang, 360, internal, external, topical, environmental, societal, economical. It's all of it that we're interested in. And you never know what the future is going to hold. Thank you so much. See you out in the hall.